Good evening, everyone. Let's start today's session. Pushpak, you can start.
Is my screen visible, ma'am?
Yes, it's
Okay, ma'am. So good evening, everyone. I'm Pushpak Suryawanshi from Machine Learning and Deep Learning Department. And today I'm going to deliver a presentation on a topic, collecting historical stock market data from Alpha Vantage, which will help us to get the API and from which we can extract the data. So these are the contents of my presentation. First, we'll look at the aims and objectives of this presentation, then the introduction, then about NSE and BSE, then what is API, then we'll look at what is data gathering, then what are the challenges in gathering big data, and then we look at the project overflow and what are the stages of the project. Then finally, we'll look at the conclusion. So these are the aims and objectives of today's task. So the first task was to collect the relevant historical stock market data for NSE and BSE. NSE stands for National Stock Exchange and BSE stands for Bombay Stock Exchange from Alpha Vantage, which is a true source for this stock market data from which we can extract financial market data, financial stock market data. So then we will use the pandas library in Python to create a data frame for further pre-processing of the data. Then we'll use the request library in Python to make API calls to the Alpha Vantage documentation. And finally, we'll pre-process data to remove any inconsistencies or missing values or any outliers. Then and then we'll save the data frame to the CSV file, which will be helpful for in further tasks. So let us look at firstly what is NSE and BSE. So NSE stands for National Stock Exchange. It was established in 1992, whereas Bombay Stock Exchange was established in 1875. So Bombay Stock Exchange was is older than the National Stock Exchange. Both of them use fully automated screen-based electronic trading system. But as NSE is newer, it contains more advanced features compared to Bombay Stock Exchange. So NSE is a largest stock exchange in India. BSE is not that large as compared to National Stock Exchange, but it is a smaller smaller market share. It has a smaller market share compared to National Stock Exchange. Finally, the National Stock Exchange, the benchmark of National Stock Exchange Index is the Nifty 50, which comprises of 50 actively traded stocks representing various sectors of the Indian economy. So we must have seen mainly there are two main terms in the stock market, which is Nifty and Sensex. So National Stock Exchange comprises of Nifty, whereas Bombay Stock Exchange comprises of Sensex. So what is Sensex? Sensex is a benchmark for a Bombay Stock Exchange, which consists of 30 of the largest and most active traded stocks on the Bombay Stock Exchange. So below are the logos of NSE and BSEs. So next, we'll look at how we are going to look at this presentation and what is the main motive. So main motive of this presentation is to extract data from the API. So API will be from Alpha Vantage, which is a leading provider of the free APIs. API stands for Application Programming Interface, which will look at which will look further what actually API means. Alpha Vantage, from Alpha Vantage, we can extract real-time and historical data on stocks, foreign exchange, cryptocurrencies, and other financial markets. So developers and traders often use Alpha Vantage APIs to access financial market data for research, analysis, and algorithmic data trading strategies. So with the help of Alpha Vantage, we are going to extract the Bombay Stock Exchange data and convert it into a CSV file with further pre-processing. So we'll especially use Reliance stock data from Bombay Stock Exchange data. As the Bombay Stock Exchange data is very large, so we will extract only the Reliance company data. So let us see what is API. So an API, which stands for Application Programming Interface, it's a set of rules or protocols that allows one software application to interact with one another. So it is basically a function which extracts data from another website and brings it to our website. So it defines the methods and data formats that application can use to request and exchange information. So these are used to enable the integration of different software systems and allow them to communicate with each other. So for example, we must have used Zomato or Swiggy for ordering food. So when the food is ordered, we track the order details. So after some times when the delivery partner starts from the shop or hotel from which we have ordered the food, we can track the delivery partner that how much time, what is the estimated time it has to reach our home. So we can see a full Google map from which the API, from which the delivery partner is moving to, and what is the estimated time to reach our home. So this map API is from Google Maps actually. So it is a best example of API that Zomato uses the API of Google Maps and so that we can track our orders more efficiently. So next we'll look at what is data gathering. So data gathering or data collection is a initial step in predictive modeling. Predictive modeling is basically predicting further future trends of historical stock market data based on the historical stock market data. So it involves collecting various data from various sources such as databases, APIs, surveys, and sensors. In this case, it will the APIs. So for predictive modeling, high quality and highly accurate and complete data is required for building accurate machine learning models. Next, we'll see what are the challenges in big data. So in data gathering, there are three challenges which we called as 3 V's of big data, which are high volume, high variety, and high velocity. So first is high volume. So high volume means that nowadays data is generated at a very huge volume, means billions, millions, and billions of tons, billions of data is generated at a fraction of second. So it is important to collect this data and process it. So it is very difficult to process large quantity of data, so a solution for this can be extracting little chunks of data from that large data and processing it step by step. So it will be so there are many other ways of dealing with higher volume. Which is one we have discussed, like extracting chunks of data or stripping some of the rows. So this is an example of high volume. Second is the high variety. High variety of data mainly consists of data of various forms such as images, videos, audios, text files, etc. So dealing with such a high variety of data is a challenging task. For example, the data in social media platforms like Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, etc., consist of large variety of data, like the post are of images, image types, then comments comments are of text files, then reels or reels, and videos are of video files. So handling such large variety of data is a challenging task. So third challenge in big data is high velocity. So nowadays the amount of data at the speed of data at which the data is generated is very large. For example, consider nowadays the best example of data science or machine learning is self-driving driving cars, for example. So in self-driving driving cars, for example, Tesla is the best self-driving car till date. So in what a self-driving cars in what happens is, when a self-driving car moves on a road, a large amount of data is generated at a great speed in a fraction of second. So in this case can be the environment or the road or the traffic on that road. So processing this incoming data and processing it and at a real time, it is a very challenging task. So these are the three V's of big data: high volume, high variety, and high velocity. So this is the overall project workflow. So first we'll create a new API on Alpha Vantage platform. Then we'll import the request module to handle the API and extract data. Then we'll convert the JSON data which we get through API to we'll convert it to data frame. Then we'll check for any inconsistencies such as missing values or outliers, etc. And we'll remove them. Then we'll rename the column as per to increase the data understanding. And finally, we'll export that data frame to CSV. So let us look at the code. So first we have imported the request module. This is the URL. First, let us look at the Alpha Vantage platform. So this is the API documentation of Alpha Vantage. It tells us that how we should proceed and how we can extract data from this platform. So we can extract many of the details such as daily, weekly, and monthly data, stock market data, and proceed with our analysis. So we have extracted daily stock market data. So we have extracted this data, Bombay Stock Exchange. So when we click on this, we get a JSON file, which consists of many details such as metadata. Metadata means the data about data. Data about data means it consists of various properties and format of the data of the JSON file. So it consists we can see here, open means the this is the date format. In date format, we have 5 features such as open, high, close, volume, and high and low. So open means the value of the stock at the start of the day. High means the highest price of the stock throughout the day. Low means the lowest price of the stock throughout the day. Close means the value of the stock at the end of the day. And volume means the volume of stocks that has been traded throughout the day. So it consists of data from 2005 till 2023. So almost data of over 17 years we have extracted. So we have this data. Now let us look at the code. So via the request module, we use the method get and pass the URL, pass the Alpha Vantage URL to it. So this is the API key we have. This is my own API key. Then we have assigned that we have Then we have used the JSON format, a JSON file format to extract the data and from the URL. Then the format is of JSON format, so we have to convert it to data frame. So next we convert it to data frame by using the data frame from dictionary. JSON is also similar to dictionary. So we have used the method data frame from dict. So we have oriented using index. So this is the data which gets converted from JSON file to data frame. So we have assigned the index as the date column for better understanding and to create meaningful graphs, which will be very helpful for us for creating various visualizations. So this is the info method, which gives us the overall summary of the data types of these features. So we can see here the data types is object. So we want the data type as float, because here are numerical values and we don't want it as object. So we convert into float. So we use the as type function here to convert into float. Then we check for any if there are any missing values. So there are not any missing values. If there would be any missing values, we would have removed it. Or if the percentage of missing values would be high, we would have replaced with their mean or median or mode according to our choice. Then we can see here the names of the columns are not easily understood. So for example, this 1 dot 2 dot is not necessary. So for better understanding, we replace the names of the column by using the mapper method. So we map the value of y into x. So y is the we use a string slicing here. We remove the first three characters and remaining character we assign into x. So we rename the columns according to it. Then finally we export the data to CSV by using the toCSV function. So we can use see here the CSV file is as follows. This is the comma separated values file. We can see here the date, all our features. We can see all features here. So we have all details here. Coming back to the PPT. So in this task, we have successfully utilized the Alpha Vantage API to gather historical stock market data for the National Stock Exchange and Bombay Stock Exchange indices. So by employing pandas and the request library, we have retrieved the data, created a data frame, exported it to CSV files. So the obtained data frame has been saved in CSV format, providing a solid foundation for our further task. So this structured data will play a crucial role in building our predictive model for stock market investing. So these are the references from which I've taken some information from. So if anyone has any questions, you can ask here at my email ID. So thank you, ma'am. This was all about the presentation.
So Pushpak, you are done?
Yes, ma'am.
So I must say you have improved a lot from your last presentation. So that was very nice.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, you have explained everything very nicely. Demo portion was nicely explained, researched as well. It was.
Yeah.
I hope you will keep doing the same work in the future as well.
Yeah, sure, ma'am, sure.
All right, I will give your feedback on your email. Okay.
Thank you, ma'am. Yeah.
Okay.